Alright, I'm going to start out by saying it's hard. Hard to go farther than we did before because at some point it doesn't matter anymore. It's hard to pick up that same thing that we did on that same day so long ago. We think that it's fine, but it's not fine. We're waiting in a line that we can never get to the front of. And in this moment of realization, this moment of self-identification that we can never think to find, I'm telling you and I'm showing you that there is more to see, there is more to be. Because it's okay to think that we've lied to ourselves, lied to who we died to be. Yeah, and it's hard to stand on that ledge and think, is this the end? Dear friend, who am I talking to? I thought all these things through. I thought that this was fine, but I didn't end up thinking anything through. Yeah, I realized in the night of the darkest thought that I've ever thought, and I was right. I was right when I said life may not be okay. Life may not stay and wait for you to walk away. Life just keeps going after you've taken the first step, after you've said the last bet. It does not care. Yeah, you stare in the mirror every day and think this is not okay, this is not right, this is not how I meant to go today, this is not what I wanted, this is not what I bet or let into my life, into my soul, into what I thought had taken its toll on me, but it's not okay, but this is not how I want to be. You know, because that's hard. There's no practice to this. There's no way to think, hey, that you do this and you get this. There's no realization as you keep walking down that endless road that you don't know ends. Because I don't want to tell you, yeah, everything I'm saying is true. Because that might be a lie. Because for you, something else could be happening. And I'd like to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this world may be too judgmental to realize that it's hurting you. I'm sorry for every single moment that you think that you're not worth it, because I promise you, that's not true. You are amazing, you are full of potential, and I bet you that there's so much more to say that it could be true, but I can't say that to you because I can't leap through the screen and tell you everything that I mean, because I can't help. But I can keep everything that I've held inside me. You see, these things that I think have lied to me. I think that this mirror is seeing through me because this reflection just can't be me. Yeah, I think, what if I did this? What if I fell through the lock that I thought a lot about? What if I thought that I was right, but I was wrong? What if I was wrong all along? What if I fall down the spiral and at the end I realized that maybe this anxiety inside of me was the real song that I've always listened to? I'm sorry for the night that tells you everything you thought to be right. I'm sorry when you lose that light in the middle of the night and you realize that you were never right. You know, because I've been there. I've been to that road where I think there's a crossroads, but in the end you just go forward and you think you're all alone because in that opinion you're standing on your own. So you pace, so you go back and forth thinking, what is this course? What am I doing with what I'm saying? What am I saying with what I'm doing? What am I living? Why am I living? And of course, this crossroads never ends. It's just this endless bleeding cliff that you think will end at the end. But there is no end, my friend. I promise you. This is a note that I'd send if I knew where you were, how you were, who you were. Because sometimes my words may not be the cure to everything you're feeling, and I never will understand what you're dealing, but I know that inside you're stealing away from what you want to be, because that's not what I see. I see an amazing human being that can do everything that I've been seeing, but at the end you just don't want to continue being. Yeah, and I understand. I understand sometimes you sit on the bed at the end of the day and think, why? Why do I want to go away? Why do I not want to live another day? Because, I don't realize what I'm trying to say. I don't say it through the mark. I don't say, yeah, of course I'm fine, but that's not true. You say I'm fine, but I'm lying. I'm dying inside with my soul trying to hide, and I think I'm alright. But that's just the pike of deceit, of the goal that I've met, that I'm trying to meet. Yeah, and I'm telling you, and I'm showing you everything that I can be, but this tree that I'm trying to climb, it's telling me that I'm not alright inside, and it's true, because I'm stuck in this lie. I know what it's like to go through betrayal at the end of the tale of the life that I've led, but I don't know how to ail that feeling that I've failed. And at the end of the day, I think, is it my fault that everything's not okay? Is it my fault that everybody's turning away and walking from where I stand and where I'm forced to stay? Is it my fault? But of course it's not. Why would it be my fault? Why would I think about this world that doesn't care about my lot of feelings that I feel inside my body? Because that's hard to win the lottery of emotions. Because at the end of the day, we're standing at the end of the cliff. We just want to fall away, but the railing won't let us fall over the edge. You just want it all to end, but it doesn't. Something that pulls you away and says, hey, friend, it's all okay. There's a reason for you to stay. Don't throw your future away. And I can't show you that everything will be fine, that you'll just go in this straight line of determination, of elimination, of inside your imagination. Because I feel like shadows are suffocating me, leaving me and shaving me of this feeling that I want to be. Because these shadows aren't me, but I feel like they are. I feel like they'll go farther than I ever will. I feel like they'll stand on my windowsill and whisper empty promises into my ear. Whisper everything that I knew would never be my fear. But when they say it, realize that fear is oh so near, because they say it just the way to get under my skin. Realize that I don't want to begin. So I let it in. Because that's the one thing that isn't empty to me, that isn't empty to the mirror that I see in front of me. I want to see things so much clearer, but all I see is this reflection of what I fear, because I am her. I am this her that I don't want to be. I'm this person that I don't want to see. I'm this reflection in the mirror of all this replacement and failure and things that I don't want to see every day. Because whenever someone tells me, hey, it's okay, I don't see that. I see this reflection. I see this sign that I've waited in line, of the line that's not fine. Because, I've waited long enough. And yet I still feel like I have to wait. I don't know what chance I have to take. I don't know what I want to wait for anymore. There's nothing left to wait for. And yet something still breaks through that wall and says, hey, don't fall, don't leave it all. Come back to me and talk it out. I hope you know. Because it's all alright. It's all okay. Just breathe. Just breathe with me, okay? Just breathe. Sometimes it's hard to do that. Understand that. I don't got this life down pat. I don't know how to do that. I don't think anybody does at this point, because at this point, we're still trying to learn how to live. And sometimes it's hard to do that. Sometimes we don't want to do that. Sometimes we just want to sit there and live there and stay there without the sun beating down on us like it was never there. I understand that. I understand how society can be blinding, can be upsizing everything that you want to be. I realized that this world can be judgmental, and I realized that it can be mental, and it can hurt. And you put on the show of a mask that you think has a gassed amount of things that will last, but you know what? If you're sailing the ship, that mast may fall over, and then everything comes crashing down. Without that sail, there is more hail. And then you feel like you're gonna fail. And I don't want to do most of these things anymore. I don't want to repeat this process that I don't care about anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to, I want to stand up to my doubt and say, hey, you're something I could live without. I don't need you. But you know what? Humanity, I'm telling you, that's not true. If we never had doubt, we'd be overwhelmed with pride. And then we constantly think that we haven't lied. And we think that we're perfect inside. But that is the biggest thing I have ever heard anybody said. Because we've all lied. We've all said we're fine inside. We've all stood up to the pride inside and said, hey, you've lied inside. And I don't want to realize what I've missed or what I still have, because sometimes it's easier to miss out on what I could have or could live without, because this doubt is blinding me, it's sighting me in its sights like a sniper. And then it hits me right where I don't want it, right where I know it can get under my skin and poison me from within. Like venom inside an illusion of self. Something that I can't exist with. We're sometimes limited by likes of other people, by other people's opinion, because we need something to see thinner than the little slip of paper inside ourselves. We want someone, anyone, to see what we have done, we've accomplished. And we want people to see us. We want people to see who we can be and what we've done and our accomplishments that we can be. And then people pass it up. People leave. People laugh as you cry into your sleeve, but you hide it all inside because that's the place to hide. Because if you're having feelings, the wrong emotions that you feel shouldn't be held to song, shouldn't be held to light inside. My might is lying to me again. I have this courage that I feel I should vote for, but I don't care about it anymore. Because I'm in a small room, and it's burning. And I'm learning. I'm learning about what I could be, or what I want to see, but at the same time, everything I want to be, I can't. And then I fall into this void of darkness and self-repetition. I think I'm not worth it. I'm worthless. I'm not great. I'm not meant for greatness. I'm done. And then, in that moment, it all comes crashing down. Like this big town that I want to drown myself in. That I want to see, but in this town, the sun never decides to begin. So I guess I'm just stuck here, letting all the darkness in. And I don't want to do that. But is it my choice? Of course not. So I'm sorry if you have to feel that way. If you feel like other people's judgment puts through your parchment of hope that is so paper thin that you can't see it or let it begin every day. Sometimes that rips. And then it's gone. It's gone, isn't it? Yeah. So it's hard to accept who you are. And it feels like that goal is oh so far, but in the end, it's just not there. Not there for you to stare with your eyes that don't care. Sometimes you just lose it, and you feel like you want to bruise it. You feel like you just want to feel something because it's all empty, because it's all gone, because it's all pointless, irrelevant, something that you can't think, because it is not okay. And that's all you can think of. It isn't okay. That's okay to not be okay, you know? Because everybody feels that at some point. You put up this mask, this facade of, yeah, I've played by your laws, and I've been held by those claws, and they aren't soft paws of your pets, of your people. They're ravenous animals that don't let you go until they've had their fill of their meal. Yeah, let me tell you, anxiety, depression, all these different disorders that make your anxiousness and your deprecation their mission. Yeah, and there's OCD. I don't have that inside of me, but I know people who have it hard to be because they have that. Oh, and have I mentioned schizophrenia? Or maybe autism? And you know, it's sad because some people think that's a joke. That it's fine. That these people have a choke on reality. And I don't find that funny. Who would? Who would find that funny? Because these disorders aren't unrealistic. And I'm not being pessimistic, and definitely not being optimistic when I say being realistic isn't always fun. Sometimes realism is something you want to run from. Yeah, you know what? You could like someone of the same sex, the same gender, and you know what? That's fine because sometimes you blunder over who you want to be. You could be somebody else all the time, and you don't realize that until you're too far gone from who you used to be. You could like somebody, but you don't like yourself. That's hard. You could want to change who you are. Because the person that you were is just too far, and you can't find it anymore. And that's fine too. As long as you find what's true to you. And I know this whole time you've been seeing black. I know this whole time you can't see through that. But maybe, please, at least see through my words. Don't make them your curse. Make them something that doesn't make your situation worse. Just understand that sometimes life doesn't have everything planned. There's no road that you can follow that say you're going to be this, you're going to be that, you're going to be something that you don't have down pat. You know, I want you to know that I don't know. I'm just saying things from what I feel. I'm saying things from what I deal. I'm saying things that are my trial. And I can't put all my feelings on file. That'd take a while. And sometimes you just think, you're sitting down and you're thinking, do I want this room to be my tomb? Do I want that shadow to loom over me, or do I just want to be blind, deaf, motionless? Do I want to be gone? But in the end, it's all okay. In the end, things might get better, and in that moment, it might not matter if things ever go up or down, or round. It might just be an endless circle of searching for redemption, something that we never mention, because that word is often ignored. Something that I've been looking for, but never found. And we're closing in on a longer time, but now I'm in line to being fine. I need to say this. I need to tell you that these feelings are true, even though you might not want them. These are things you have to fight through. And if you come out stronger on the other side. You know you should have pride for everything inside. There's no reason to hide, because you are you, and that is true, and there's no reason to not be proud of you. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You're precious. You're saving yourself from that void, and if you're good enough, you're saving others from other people who have been disemployed, disembodied from what they've always thought was deployed. And in the end, it's not okay, you think? In the end, I'm still feeling out of this way. And in the end, I just want to stay here and lay awake, thinking about what I could take. But it's not too late. Once again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for things that you feel, things that you have to deal. Once again, it's hard. But that just means you can go even more far. Even farther. Until you meet a bridge in your road. And you can think, could I go over or could I go over the edge of this bridge? And that decision can be brutal, I know. But if you make it right, maybe you win that fight. And I may be just this one person telling you it'll be okay, but for some purpose, you'll hear what I say, because in some people's minds it takes one person to make a difference, to bring up everything inside, because there's been people, bigger fortunes that we've made in this society that I sometimes think poisons me. But that doesn't matter, because now it's something I have to abide to, something I have to live with, something I have to do and never quit. You know, I think doubt is a drug. It gets addictive because it's something that you can see that's vindictive from what you've thought before, because you think of it and then it leads you into a pit that you can't leave. Yes, doubt is a drug, I'm telling you. I know this might be hard, but it is true. You can let it through. You can give in to it. Give in to what is telling you, the empty promises it's telling are true. But on the other hand, you could drop it. Not think about it. Leave it alone. Because in this fight, you are not alone. And there's so much more I'd like to say, so much more confidence that I wish that I could give away, but I don't have that time to spend today. Because we don't have time to think over everything. We don't have time to say every little thing, every little purpose that we've made may have a bigger meaning. Like this life, this movie that's been screening, this film that we've been meaning to show to others, but we can't just let it out because we don't want to show other people that we have weaknesses. We want to show this big, strong facade that we've made, that we follow with its laws. And I'm sorry, but sometimes it's hard. I really am. It's hard to live, to exist, to feel through the darkness, to realize what you've missed. And that's just it. So maybe in the end, you'll see fit to think things over a bit longer. Don't push off the edge. Don't fall over that rail. Don't think that everything you've done is an ultimate fail. Don't hold that knife too close to your body. Don't cut. Don't leave. Please just show me what you can be, because I want to see. Because you can be so much more. Don't hold that rope close to your neck. Don't let yourself let into that bet that you make with your mind, because minds can be unkind. Don't let in. All those ways to end it all. It's so easy, you think, but that's not true. That's not true. What are you leaving behind you? There are people that care. I care, even if nobody else there cares. I do. One person can care, and it can mean so much more than a world of care. And that might not be fair, but it's how it works.